Hi. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm Angelica. Welcome. And today we are talking about 5 ways to raise your vibration and tune into a higher frequency. So, what does that mean? What is vibration? What is frequency? Why do we care? So, our vibration is us, what our personal vibration is. We are all born as humans naturally high vibrating. So just think about a newborn baby and how everyone is magnetized towards a newborn baby. The energy is so good and so pure, and everyone loves a newborn baby. We think, oh, it's because it's a newborn baby, it's just so cute. It's more than that. That baby has the highest state of, now I'm talking a newborn baby. That baby has the highest state of vibration that you can possibly, that we're going to probably have while we're here, because that baby has not been conditioned yet. That baby is straight into earth and says, oh, this is earth. Okay, this is what we're doing here. And this baby has not been conditioned to think anything other than, I'm a human on earth, and past that there's nothing else to think about. But over the years, everything changes. So immediately we're indoctrined, we're conditioned, we're taught a language of our culture, we're taught our cultural ways, beliefs. All of these things come into play, right? So this conditions us to think a different way, and this is going to shift our vibration. And our vibration is what determines what frequency wave we're tuning into. So if we are down here on this wavelength of vibration, so our thought patterns are of lack. Our thought patterns are, our parents didn't have money, we're always poor. So our thought patterns are that we're always poor, or that we're uneducated, or that we're not pretty enough, or we're not good enough, or all these conditioned beliefs. If this is where our thought patterns always are, we're going to attract those thought patterns to us. Like attracts like. So same thing up here. If you're up here all the time and you think really good thoughts and you're just like, oh my God, life is great and da 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 da, and I always have money, I always have abundance, why else wouldn't it? People love me, my parents love me, everyone loves me, I belong everywhere I go. So you attract that into your life, right? So if you don't have the proper tools at the beginning, and this is how you go through your life, you can ultimately live a life of struggle. You can live a life that's a little bit harder because you're just always going against that. But once we raise that vibration, once we learn those ways to come back to our natural state of being, the natural state of nature, the natural state of being, then we can tap into that flow of the universe. So those things will come naturally to us, that natural state of abundance, of love, of peace, of joy. All those things come to us naturally. So that's what we're talking about today. And today I'm going to share those 5 ways, and maybe create some videos after this, because I have 21 that I've talked about and written about that you can look into later. But today we're just going to talk about 5. So the first and most important one, I think, out of all of these, if you have this, you probably don't even need the others. But the first and most important one is gratitude. Gratitude opens the heart. Gratitude is the frequency of abundance. Gratitude opens us up. So when we have that heart opening from gratitude, then we have that mind-heart coherence, right? So now we're flowing. Now we're flowing just by simply opening up to gratitude. And gratitude is something more than saying thank you. That's not necessarily expressing gratitude, although it can be, and even that word is maybe not the best word. But gratitude and truly being thankful for what we have, and I'm talking a bite to eat, you put something in your mouth and you express genuine gratitude for that food, that's going to open things up. If you have clean drinking water and you are expressing gratitude for that clean drinking water, that's going to open things up. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm so grateful I've got all this money and I've got this big house and I've got, those don't have to be the things that you're grateful for. right? You can be grateful for all these little things. And sometimes, myself included, we can be in such a dark place, we can't even think of what we're grateful for. Like, what is there to be grateful for? I've had times like that, which is why I came up with these and wrote them down and organized it, because this is something that you can do without thinking about and come up into that higher state of a higher state of flow. That's the only way I can put it. So yes, gratitude. And how do we do this? It's the first thing that you do when you get out of bed. Name 3 things that you're grateful for. Simple. And then go on about your day. Do that for 21 days. See how your life changes. Gratitude is the key that opens up everything else, I promise. So number 2 is presence. Watch your thoughts. So this is equally as important, if I'm honest. This is a game changer. So in case you are not aware of, if you've found this video, chances are you're kind of on this path, but you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching your thoughts. So once you realize that, it becomes quite easy to stop repeating patterns, to stop thinking the thoughts that you don't want to be thinking, because once you realize you're not the one even thinking those things, you can change them. Okay? So how do you become the observer of your thoughts? It's pretty simple. You can sit there and just have a conversation with yourself in your mind. If you get quiet, you can say something like, I am happy today, in your mind without saying it out loud. I am happy today. Who is happy today? You're hearing that voice. Who's saying it and who's hearing it? So just stepping back and just noticing that you are the observer of your thoughts. So your thoughts do not need to control you. You control your thoughts. You get to decide what that thought is going to be. Now, we do have to use our mind. We do have to navigate issues. We do have to navigate stuff in life, yes. But we do not have to let this stuff control us. We don't. We are in charge of our thoughts, of our own mind. So if you find yourself in this repeated pattern, which I have, one of the things that has helped me over the years, I've always journaled, I always write things down, and this helps kind of go back in the backlogs, and you can kind of see, because my journals are just a straight shot from here to the pen. So it's just my thoughts. And you can begin to see patterns of those thoughts. I had some journals a while back, and I was in a very dramatic, to say the least, situation, relationship, and it was always just so much drama, almost so much pain, and I was always writing about it and venting about it. And for like 3 years of journals, I was looking and I was writing the same exact things over and over and over again over years' time. That's how much it just became a condition of my mind, of my thought patterns. And I was stuck in this loop for years because of it. So once we can see this, journaling is a great way to come out of that. Journaling is a great way to see those thoughts. Meditation, which we'll get to later, is also a great way to see what those thoughts are. But once we can begin to observe those thoughts, we can change them, right? So we cannot have 2 thoughts at once. You think you can, you cannot. You can try, but you can't. So when you're having a thought pattern, you can just say stop. You can just catch yourself and say, nope, stop. And then as soon as you say stop, maybe you have a go-to mantra that you go to. You could say, oh, I love myself. Oh, I'm perfect just the way I am. Oh, this is, today is happy, or, or say the word happy, or like, you can stop the thought pattern by literally saying stop. I catch myself all the time having something go on in my mind. I'm like, no, we're not doing that today, sister. Okay, move on. And we move on. So watching your thoughts is a great way to begin to shift that vibration, because now you are in control of the thoughts you want to have. Okay, so number 3 that we're going out of the 5 today, meditation. So meditation kind of goes along with the watch your thoughts, but meditation, so we're aligning with the field in this meditation process. And we again are opening the heart, but we're also calming the mind, because the mind, we all have this monkey mind that always has just thoughts popping everywhere. Meditation teaches us to calm those monkey thoughts. And what it does is it calms our nervous system. It calms our minds, it calms our heart rates, it just calms us in every way. And when we are clear of mind, calm of mind, then we have more clarity. Then we can see, oh, this is why that's like that. Oh, meditation helps clear that up. And if it does nothing more than gives you 5 to 20 minutes, whatever, how long you need, if it does nothing more than allows you to step back and just be for a little bit, then it's worth it. Because for health reasons alone, it's worth it. We already have so much stress in our lives. Most of us, especially if you're in the West, I think it's even worse. Um, we're overcome with all of these stresses and distractions in life. And when you sit down for meditation, you don't have social media distracting you. You don't have a television distracting you. You don't have any of these distractions. It's just you and stillness. So meditation is a way of making that connection on a regular basis and allowing the nervous system to calm down. And when the nervous system is calm, then we're able to get that clarity, then we're able to think in a more clear, processed, logical way. So meditation it's not a religious thing, it is a health benefit that is a health tool that you can incorporate into your life, and it will do wonders for helping you to raise your vibration. Okay, so the next one, breath work, your inner energy portal. So the breath work I'm referring to, I know there are so many different things that you can do online, on YouTube. There are some really great breath techniques that people are doing, and I think there are a lot of different interesting ones that I enjoy. But what I stick to are the basics, and I stick to the yogi pranayama breath practices. So in breath work, you're literally controlling the breath. When you see these practices that people are doing, particularly for going into these hallucination kind of trance type states of mind, they're controlling the breath. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pranayama, and pranayama is not controlling the breath. Pranayama is working with the breath. So we are engaged in that life force energy and using the breath with that life force energy. And pranayama goes hand in hand with meditation for me personally, because I use pranayama practices to lead me into a meditation practice. And what pranayama does for me personally is it helps to find that calming place before I even have started my meditation practice, so that when I'm in my meditation practice, I can go deeper. So this is a really good one. And this is something that you can do right away and notice an instant change. So if you have any kind of stresses or anything like this, you can just do a simple box breath, like an inhale for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, and then hold at the bottom for 5 before you go and do it all again, and do that for 5 rounds. And you will notice a shift in your nervous system within those few minutes of just doing something as simple as a box breath. So pranayama, any kind of breath work throughout the body, can be a very powerful way to raise your vibration and tune into that higher frequency. Okay, let's go into the next one, the last one we're going to talk about today, and that is rituals, sacred in the everyday. So the reason, one of the reasons why I put together this list was because I was in a slump, and I needed to know, how am I, when I go to places like Bali, I'm in Bali right now. When I go to places like Bali or Costa Rica or India, or places that I just go there and I don't do anything and I just feel better. What is it? So that's why I started like writing down what happens when I go to these places. What am I doing in these places that help me feel so much better? And one of the things that came up for me was this rituals. And this is something that's practiced in all cultures, all backgrounds, all everything. People do their own kind of rituals of different kinds. So maybe ritual is not a word you like. Maybe you have something else. I don't know, but that's the word I'm using. And when I came to Bali for the first time, that was one thing that stood out the most to me, was the rituals, the prayers, the devotion. And it wasn't like where I come from in the States, it wasn't like a once a week going to church type thing. It was a part of life. It was a part of everyday life. There was sacredness in everything. So every day was filled with prayers. Every day was filled with flowers and incense and devotion. And every day was a ritual of some sort, several times a day. And this connection with this prayer, this connection of just stopping and just devotion, this to me is really what makes the essence of Bali so magical, because there are so many people praying, so many people doing these devotional rituals throughout the day, every day. This is what makes the magic here, right? So I began to practice rituals. I started picking the flowers and I started lighting the incense, and I started having an altar and where I go, and that's not a Balinese thing, I don't think, but it's my thing. But I started implementing rituals that work for me in my everyday life. And yeah, it helps me feel connected. It helps me realize that, yeah, I am one with something unknown, something higher than myself. And when I practice these rituals, it can be sort of a meditative thing. I can just kind of let go and just get into the flow of devotion. And it can be a beautiful, beautiful thing. So rituals, whatever you want to do, whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't have to be a religious thing. It doesn't have to be a spiritual thing. It can just be, something that's a ritual for you. Walking your dog in the morning can be a ritual. Anything can be a ritual if you want to make it a ritual and make and see the sacredness in it. Washing the dishes can be sacred. Everything, there's sacredness in everything, right? So those are the 5 things I'm going to talk about today. I will hopefully make some more videos in the coming days, in the coming weeks. And if you are curious about maybe diving a little bit deeper into this, I know when I first started looking into this subject, when I first started having my awakening, and I'm just looking everywhere, where can I find some stuff? I couldn't find what I was looking for. Now I can find things about vibration and frequency, in a lot of places. These are my own personal things that I've kind of collected over the years, but everyone has different takes, and a lot of them are the same as well, because what works, works. But I've compiled 21 ways to tune into a higher frequency. Vibe Shift is the book. You can look it up on Amazon. And it's Angelica Rosecrans, that's me. And you can order the ebook version or the paperback, and you can dive in a little bit deeper as we continue to go through all of the different techniques over the coming days. So thank you for watching, and would be interested to hear if this content interested you at all. If you have an interest in a specific area that you want to know a little bit more about, please feel free to let me know, reach out. And if you've watched till the end, Thank you. I appreciate your time. I don't take any of that for granted. So thank you for listening and hope to see you soon.